is the first emotion, reaction that comes up when you hear this word? What does it trigger within you? Is it pleasure? Is it disgust? Is it indifference? Or is it just pure discomfort and embarrassment? Have you ever watched pornography? Have you ever questioned whether pornography is good or bad? Well, let me tell you something. Pornography is a hot topic, which has quite some polarized perspectives. But they're even against and pro-porn feminists. However, the issue at hand of this video is whether pornography should be banned or not. Now you may wonder, why should I even care about pornography? Well, according to an NBC News article, it's a $97 billion industry which receives about 84 million clicks per day only in the USA. And 32% of all downloads are related to pornography. In other words, it is a huge industry which has a significant presence and thus influence on our society. But I really liked how Shira Turan described it nicely in her book, The Pornography Industry, What Everyone Needs to Know. And I quote, "It can be easy to dismiss the entire genre as pure jack of material. Yet it's precisely this dismissal that renders pop culture like pornography so crucial to understand. Its ubiquitous presence in so many aspects of our lives means that pornography is a rich source for studying the ways in which ideas about gender, race, class, beauty, and sex are constructed, conceived, and maintained." End quote. The fact is, as with most things in life, pornography is a double-edged sword. Therefore, so many debates are out there. But within this video, I present the different positions in the statement about pornography and conclude offering possible refreshing alternatives that ideally make both parties happy and give you some inspiration to responsibly consume pornography. So, what are the main criticisms against pornography? There's absolutely no doubt that conventional pornography is everything but the ideal example of diversity, social justice, and inclusion. During my research, I found plenty of reasons why pornography should be banned, but I will focus on the main 4 criticisms, which are violence against women, inequality, misleading sexual education, and human trafficking. Let's start with the first one, violence against women. Anti-porn feminists label pornography as the perfect example of patriarchal hegemony, where oppression, especially men oppressing women, is key. The most worrying category regarding violence throughout my research is hardcore porn. According to Sharon Seda, it puts the dignity and safety of women at risk. But not only the women actresses in pornography, but women worldwide. The reason for that is that they are objectified, they are treated aggressively, they receive little to no respect, and this possibly inspires the viewers to do the same. In other words, become more violent against women in real life. Number 2, inequality. Inequality within pornography spreads throughout many different areas. Producers make the real money, while performers mostly don't. In the worst cases, online porn videos may never have received any consent from the actors or one of the actors participating in it. Additionally, there is inequality among represented groups. The majority of the films focus on white people. Minorities like black, Asian, or elder people are less represented or put in a separate category. So racism, ageism, and so forth can be observed in pornography. Furthermore, porn is represented mostly in binary concepts. For example, in documentaries like Hot Girls Wanted, they make little effort to explicitly recognize or represent non-binary identities. Everything is explained in language of men and women, with nothing in between. Number 3, misleading sexual education. According to Taylor, concerns about the effects of pornography relate to its influence on culture, the way it shapes intimate relationships, and impacts on individual physical and mental health. These concerns are particularly acute for young people, whose social, relational, neurological, and sexual development is most vulnerable to unhealthy messages of porn. In other words, pornography often does not represent reality or how sex can look like. There's often no emotional relationship between the performers, and it is mainly about penetration. Number 4, human trafficking. Pornography is the driving force behind the international sex trafficking industry, according to McKinnon. Women and children devise much of the pornography industry and are often rented in order to produce films that flood the market. In porn, the argument goes, the buyer is not having sex with the trafficked person. She is, or he is merely paying for the privilege of viewing a reproduced image of that person engaging in sexual acts. This argument seems to treat the camera as a sort of filter. Without the camera, the person engaging in sexual acts is a trafficking victim, but with it, the porn actor becomes a consenting adult. But what are the counter-arguments or pro-arguments for pornography? First of all, it is worth mentioning that other studies contradict previous arguments. For example, some say that the current state of evidence is limited to correlation and does not demonstrate a causal relationship between porn viewing and either acceptance of or actual violence against women. Indeed, it appears that at least some mainstream viewers are gradually moving away from prevalent depictions of aggression and degradation. But there are main three arguments in favor of pornography. Number one, it's a sexual relief. Pornography offers a way to others to receive sexual relief and live virtual experiences instead of performing them in real life. We can make the analogy with the debate of playing violent video games. Some say that violent video games make gamers become more violent in real life, while for others it is a way of relieving violence virtually instead of doing so physically. The same goes regarding consuming pornography. Number two, it's a way of self-expression. So, according to pro-porn feminists, porn actresses are working towards gender equality by reclaiming their sexuality in such a radical public way through porn. Furthermore, a study by Griffith et al. Compared surveys of 177 porn actresses with 177 non-sex workers, women matched on age, ethnicity and marital status, and they found that porn actresses had higher levels of self-esteem, positive feelings, social support, sexual satisfaction and spirituality compared to the other matched group. But number three, pornography is an opportunity for sex education, so it's recognized by many to have the potential to educate about sexuality. Unfortunately, sex is still a topic that is not often addressed publicly, so pornography is considered a way to familiarize others about sex and stimulate playfulness and creativity. Additionally, it is also similar to other industries. So, unfortunately, McKee remarks that pornography is in many ways not any different to other industries with its downsides of racism, inequality and so forth. But of course, this does not justify the negative aspects of pornography. But it puts the exceptionalist treatment of the pornography industry into question. What are the alternatives? There's a big movement going on regarding feminist and ethical pornography. Those aim to eradicate the negative sides of conventional porn and emphasize the positive sides. A good example of ethical pornography is a website called Is Confessions, created by Erica List, who is a pioneer in ethical porn. However, there are many more, like Lust Cinema, Make Love, Not Porn, Belleza, Pink Label, Bright Desire, etc. But what makes them special? Those are generally based on being couple-friendly, providing equal pleasure, being diverse, ensuring equal payment, allowing no surprises, and giving cinematic value. However, this trend is growing and more alternatives emerge. Furthermore, there are alternatives such as audio porn, with platforms like Dipsy, Quinn and Sounds of Pleasure, which give a pornographic experience through arousing and creative sexual storytelling. As you can see, there are plenty of options to enjoy the pleasures sides of pornography while keeping it ethical, or as it's also called, fair trade. So, what's my opinion on this? After this research about pornography, I believe that pornography per se should not be banned. Nevertheless, pornography needs to be talked about instead of being ignored, and its nuances and complexity must be recognized. Furthermore, I believe that the values of ethical porn should be promoted much more, and it must become mainstream, as the cons like human trafficking or being violent against women or not having diversity is unacceptable. But what do you think? Should pornography be banned or not? Thank you for watching.